Hey guys, this is Ramification. Welcome back to part 7 of our Phantom Dust Remaster playthrough. At the end of the last episode, we defeated the boss at the end of Chapter 2, Peccato, so we're just going to continue now with Chapter 3. And this is the chapter where we are introduced to making our own custom arsenals. So we have to go to Ubiquitous in the lab to get our head start on custom arsenals. This is where the game becomes quite interesting. And up to this point we have all of these kind of pre-established skills, and again in the early stages it's just to familiarize the player with the skills, but now that we have a decent understanding of most of the skill types, there's still many more to explore.
Yes, I heard about it. Yes. Arsenal, yes. Skills you were using. Oh, there's a record here. You see here? You go to the surface with skills. Memories, they're gone. So I thought, portable. Look, here. You see? Skills. Concentrated dust. The capsule, it breaks. The dust becomes energy. You touch it, the skill, it's yours. Oh.
I see. We use this arsenal to carry the skills we want to the surface. This could give us an advantage in battle, since we can choose the skills we want to use.
Right. Your skills. Choose your skills to use. On the surface. Right. Care to try it?
Okay, so we have to head to Mac in the main shop, and this is where we're going to use all of the credits that we've been accruing this entire time with all of these kind of training missions. So here's the shop right here. I'm gonna go with middle range for now. I'll go ahead and go through this because it's just good to, check it out and read it.
Do you want to take a look at the arsenal? You can view your arsenal here in the lab. Select Edit Arsenal to see the list of skills contained in the arsenal. Here, you can change which skills are assigned to your arsenal. First, let me explain what's in the arsenal. First, you see a list of arsenals that are available to you. The number of schools you can have in your arsenal is predetermined. There are arsenals that are limited to 1, 2, or 3 different schools of skills. These icons display the different schools that are in the arsenal. Starting from the left, the schools are Psycho, Optical, Nature, Key, and Faith. You'll discover which skills belong in which schools by using them during battle. Now let's take a look at the contents of the arsenal. Select the arsenal you want to view using the D-pad. Press the A button to view the list of skills in the arsenal. Here you can see a complete list of skills included in your arsenal. If you selected this arsenal for battle, the skills listed here would appear during battle. But the skills appear in random order during battle. So be aware that the order in which they are listed here is not necessarily the order in which they will appear in battle. You can select a skill using the D-pad. Information about the skill you selected appears here. Use the D-pad to select the skill for which you'd like more information. To close this arsenal, select OK, or press the B button. Select OK again when asked to end arsenal editing. The list of available arsenals is displayed.
So that's the basic overview of how arsenals work. You noticed in the tutorial the video tutorial that she mentioned there are 5 schools. That's something that hasn't been mentioned up till this point. Most of what they wanted us to focus on in the early stages is just not the school of the skill, but the type. So like attack, defense, movement, erase, environmental skills, and status skills, right? But in addition to that categorization, there's also the school categorization, which is going to affect the type of arsenal in case you choose 1 school, 2, or 3.
When editing your arsenal, you may decide you want to add different skills. You can find additional skills for sale at Mac's shop in the underground world. Go into the shop and talk with Mac. Everything associated with selling or buying skills can be done here in his store. The most basic way to acquire new skills is to buy junk, which is a pack of unorganized skills. Each junk pack includes 5 unknown skills. There's a list of available junk in Mac's shop. Since the contents are unknown, you can only hope the skill you're looking for will be among the 5 unknown skills. You won't have to wait long to find out. The junk you purchase can be opened right on the spot. To see descriptions of the skills, press up or down on the D-pad. The higher the rarity rating a skill has, the more credits you'll receive when selling it. You can also purchase individual skills with the credits you receive, but they are much more expensive than when buying junk. The skills you purchase will be saved to your stock. You can view your stock from the lab. From the stock list, you can go into stock mode. If you find skills you'd like to use in the stock list, you can incorporate them into your arsenal. New skills you've recently acquired are indicated with a mark before the skill name. The mark is displayed until you place the skill in an arsenal.
So we'll go ahead and watch this last video here.
Let's look at how to edit your arsenal. Now let's go to the arsenal edit screen. Using the D-pad, select a skill you want to delete from this arsenal. Press the A button to display the list of skills available in your stock. Within the same type of skill, scroll up or down to select a new skill you'd like to incorporate into the arsenal. Or scroll left or right to change the skill type to defense, erase, or status. The skill types in the arsenal that you initially received were well balanced. Select the skill you want and press A to place the skill into the arsenal. The previous skill was replaced. As you review each skill, you may want to switch one skill for another of the same skill type. Repeat this process to change the skills that are in your arsenal. When you exit edit mode, select OK to reflect the changes you've made to your arsenal, or press cancel to maintain the original skill set. To incorporate the same skill, press the Y button, When editing an arsenal, press the X button to replace a skill with an aura particle. Repeat this process if there are multiple skills you'd like to remove from your arsenal. Once you've edited your arsenal, you may have a hard time remembering which skills are assigned to it. This is a good time to sort the skills in your arsenal. Select Sort. When viewing the contents of your arsenal, you can sort the skills lists according to different skill types.
So basically, since we haven't purchased our own skills yet, besides what they gave us with this first arsenal, junk is the easiest way for us to acquire good skills early. So we're just gonna go ahead and buy the random ones with junk, because see, look, just to show how it's gonna be very cost effective. Like even the cheapest skills are 50 credits, right? But most of them are gonna be more than that, like significantly more, 150 or more. But you can get 5 skills for 500, so the value on average is just a lot more buying junk in the early stages. So we're just gonna buy both of these. Okay, triple laser shell. The greedy spirit is very good. Reduce the target's aura to 0. That's like, if that's used in the mid game or especially in the late game, it's extremely infuriating, because imagine if a person, most arsenals will have, let's say, 13 to 15 aura particles, right? Because you have to make sure you have a sufficient amount spread out to use your skills. You can't just put like 5 aura particles and a bunch of skills you won't be able to use anything, even if they're lower cost, because you have to make sure you get the draw for the aura particles. So if you use something like Greedy Spirit in the late game, after a person has used, let's say, their aura is up to 10, right? And they only have 5 aura particles left in their skill set, in their arsenal, putting them to 0 is going to just cripple them, basically. They may not even be able to use any of their remaining skills, because at some point you're going to have to burn through skills that you can't use otherwise, so that you can get the draw for aura particles. So sometimes you just have to overwrite skills intentionally to be able to get to the aura that you need to use anything. So this is not bad, this junk that we got here. This is a really good late game. So if you have a lot of aura, you're going to be able to use this. Let's say you have 10 aura in the late game, and you use some type of paralyzing defense move where if you block the attack, they're paralyzed for a couple of seconds. You'll be able to charge this and do really good damage based on how much aura you've acquired. Psycho Knife, very good. Standard short range move. These are all fine. So that's what they have for the time being. Right now they've already given me one 2-school arsenal case, so I think that's enough. I'm just going to look through and see what other skills we can get for the time being. Shield of Aegis is good, it's just 50. I'm going to go ahead and get 2. For many skills, you'll want at least 2 copies of them. For some of the really strong moves, one is enough. Okay, I want to get one more bullet of fire because this is standard. It's important. Sonic Boom is good as well. So I want to make sure I get 2. You can see how much I own of each skill on the bottom left. Octo Laser. I'm not too big a fan of this move, so I'm just gonna skip this for now. Psycho Sniper is good. I'll just get 1. I'll get 1 more Slide Laser. You get 2. I'll get 1 more Psycho Knife. This is enough for now. What I'm going to do is just go back to the lab and edit using the skills that I have.
Once you get the hang of editing an arsenal, you may even want to try creating a new one. To do this, you need a new arsenal case. Arsenal cases can be purchased from Mac's shop in the underground world. To get started, you need to go to the shop and talk with Mac. First, you need an arsenal case, so select Buy Arsenal Case. As you progress, you'll have the opportunity to purchase different types of arsenal cases. The types of skills you can add to an arsenal are dependent on the arsenal and the number of schools it can hold.
Okay. So right now this has 18 order particles. That's way too many. I'm going to add a couple other skills. Need something. We need some short range stuff. So we're gonna add Psycho Knife. Let's see what it came with, because this was already established before I joined. Okay, bomb, stone shot. We have to keep in mind also that this is limited to 2 schools, so we can't add anything outside of these 2. I'll add one more Sonic Boom, so we have 2 of these. Levitate's not that important. I'm just gonna add one more attack skill. Actually 2 more, I need one more Bullet of Fire. Okay, so this is fine, like 13 order particles in these skills is enough. I can maybe even get rid of... I can get rid of this actually. That's fine, 14 aura is enough. Okay. That's just a really basic, like, that's all we need for the time being. We're just gonna look for some missions now. Okay. So Meister's already registered a mission for us to try this custom arsenal out with. What's important is on your initial draw, when okay, yeah, he's mentioning that your ore is going to start at 0 because basically in all of the previous ones we've started with, I'm pretty sure 5 aura each time, or some set number, but before this we've started with some amount and not 0. So it's really important, like I said in the early game, to make sure you have good aura particle draw. You want 2. Or you want 3 or 4 ideally aura particles to draw on, but if you don't get a good draw at the very beginning, you can press the escape button on your keyboard to redraw. I'm gonna wait till I get one more attack skill because both of these are single use, and I want to have something to follow up with it. Especially because they freeze the target's buttons. So if I get something like Bullet of Fire, then I can do like Piece of Ice into Bullet of Fire a couple times, and then use the other one. Okay, bomb, this is fine. I'm trying to wait till Meister's out of the way. Go. and got wrecked by the debris. That was really straightforward. But again, the important thing is balancing the number of aura particles that you have in the early game, because if you're stuck with, let's say, 1 or 2 aura and your skills cost 1 or 2, then you're going to have to overwrite some stuff early on. And I mean, sometimes you can't help it. Sometimes you just have a bad draw and a bad redraw. That's part of the game. But you have that option to redraw, which is important. So in that first 3 seconds while the game is basically getting set up, you have that option. So you just have to quickly look and see, okay, do I have, at least 3 aura particles in my starting hand? If so, then you're pretty good to go. If not, it's probably good to redraw. Probably a good idea to redraw. And we got a skill along with that. So they're just going to start giving us, in addition to credits, we're going to get skills and memory boxes. So that'll do it for part 7. Just wanted to introduce a little bit and show those tutorial videos about arsenal creation and editing. In the next episode, we'll continue and make progressively more complex arsenals as we include more skills and more schools. Thank you for watching, and look forward to the next episode.